dense, untamed jungles of Brazil lies a mystery that has baffled historians and researchers for nearly a century. In 1923, the entire population of Hoer Verde, a small, unassuming village tucked away in the Amazon, vanished without a trace. All 600 residents disappeared, leaving behind unanswered questions, eerie clues, and chilling rumors that persist to this day. Hoer Verde wasn't a village of note before its mysterious disappearance. Records were scarce, and little was known about its residents, what they did, how they lived, or why the village was founded in such an isolated location. Yet it undeniably existed, as confirmed by early explorers and maps of the region. But by February of 1923, all human activity ceased. When a group of traveling merchants arrived at the village, they found an unsettling scene. Houses stood silent, doors hanging ajar. Meals sat uneaten on tables, plates gathering dust. Tools lay abandoned mid-task, as though the villagers had been interrupted and left in a hurry. The merchants searched for signs of life, but there were none. Not a single footprint, no tracks leading away from the village, just a cryptic message scrawled on a blackboard in one of the houses. It read, "There is no salvation." Local authorities were notified, and a small investigation team was sent to Hoer Verde. They combed through the abandoned homes, finding personal belongings, livestock still confined in pens, and even firearms untouched in their racks. There were no signs of violence, no blood, no bodies. The investigators were left with an eerie emptiness that seemed to echo the silent jungle around them. Theories emerged almost immediately, each more bizarre than the last. Some speculated that the villagers had fallen victim to an attack by a hostile indigenous tribe, but no evidence of struggle or battle was ever found. Others whispered of supernatural forces, stories of spirits, or a curse that drove the villagers to madness or lured them into the jungle, never to return. One of the more unsettling theories pointed to a political motive. Brazil, in the 1920s, was a country simmering with unrest, with revolutionaries and paramilitary groups vying for power. Could Hoer Verde have been caught in the crossfire of political violence, the villagers forcibly relocated? Or worse, yet no documents or reports surfaced to support this theory. One peculiar detail came to light decades later. In 1953, a former Brazilian soldier claimed to have passed through Hoer Verde during a patrol. He described a suffocating sense of dread as he walked through the abandoned streets, as though he was being watched. He reported hearing faint whispers and footsteps that seemed to follow him, though he was entirely alone. The soldier left the village quickly and refused to return, convinced that something otherworldly was at play. Adding to the mystery, there were unverified reports of strange lights in the sky above Hoer Verde on the night the villagers supposedly vanished. Witnesses from nearby settlements claimed to have seen glowing orbs hovering above the jungle, accompanied by an otherworldly hum. Could this have been an extraterrestrial encounter, as some UFO enthusiasts suggest? Despite the many theories, Hoer Verde remains an enigma. The village's remote location and lack of detailed records make it nearly impossible to piece together a definitive explanation. Researchers have returned to the site over the years, only to find the jungle slowly reclaiming the land. Today, the few remnants of Hoer Verde, overgrown foundations, crumbling walls, and rusting tools, serve as a haunting reminder of the mystery that unfolded nearly a century ago. Whatever the truth may be, the disappearance of 600 souls leaves behind a dark and lingering question. What happened in Hoer Verde?